American football programmes. Over the next 16 weeks, we'll be looking at the top games from the preceding 48 hours.
And tonight we've got a very special game between the winners of the last two Super Bowls. It's Chicago Bears versus the New York Giants. And it was only 6 months ago that the Giants were dumping barrels of Gatorade over their coach Bill Parcells in celebration of their crushing defeat over the Denver Broncos in Pasadena.
The last time the Giants and the Bears met was in the 85 divisional playoff games, and the key play in that game was Sean Landetta's punt, which was blocked on the 6-yard line. The Bears won the game 21-0 and then went on to win Super Bowl 20.
Now we go over to Soldier Field, where before the game, Al Michaels talked to injured quarterback Jim McMahon and Frank Gifford talked to Lawrence Taylor.
I've been called everything. I've been called, you know, crazy, a dummy.
You've been called the greatest linebacker ever played, too.
True. You know, I've been called everything. I've been called selfish, conceited. Right, I am. And I kill quarterbacks on Sunday. So what? I'm like I say, an assassin or a trained killer. You know, you give me a job and I try to get it done the best way I can.
Do you have any fun playing this game?
I have a lot of fun on Sundays, and anytime I go out there and play football and be able to hit people and hear them hurt, it's a lot of fun.
You know, that sounds strange to people who don't know this game, but that is a thrill, isn't it?
Well, you know, fans don't want to turn on a football game and see powder puff. They don't want to see people tagging guys down or people running out of bounds. They want to see some good, solid hitting and some, you know, little blood, little guts every now and then. But
you genuinely enjoy that, don't you?
I really do.
Jim, when maybe 5 seconds to go downfield to his second, maybe even his third receiver. So good job that time by the Bear offensive line.
Brian Wagner, who won the job from Maury Buford, has his punt blocked. And in the end zone, it's Tom Flynn for the touchdown. Flynn blocked the punt against Green Bay last year and scored a touchdown. It was blocked by Eric Howard, the backup to Jim Byrd at nose tackle. He blocked it, and Flynn picks up this year where he left off last year by scoring a touchdown.
Special teams, they will do it so frequently, and you saw a great example of it. Dan talked about it earlier in the pregame show. It pays off for the Giants right here. Good move by Howard. He comes around his man. He's right in the face. Right from the right side, number 74, Eric Howard. There it is. Doesn't go for the punter, goes for the ball. 2 yards in front of the kicker and gets the block. That's what they always must remember. You do not go for the kicker. You go in front of the punter, and that's where you're going to collide with the ball, and Howard was right on it.
Allegre for the extra point. Giants on top, 7-0. Keep another thing in mind. They're down to their number 3 snapper. John Addix was...
Neil Anderson has been shouldering most of the work.
2nd and 9. Tom Zach looks to Payton. Has Walter at the 10-yard line, and that's all. He is 4 yards shy of a first down. It'll be a big 3rd and 4 coming up. Carson making the stop.
That time the Bears brought Matt Suhey into the lineup, kept him back in to protect Mike Tomczak. He didn't have to pick up anyone, releasing Walter out into the pattern. A versatile player is Walter Payton. His hands are as good as his legs. There's not much he can't do.
This drive, remember, started at the Chicago 6-yard line. So thus far, 84 yards with Tomczak at the helm. It's 3rd and 4 at the 10. And Tomczak flips it out to Suhey, and Suhey is down to about the 7-yard line. So here's Ditka's first decision now. 4th down and a yard at the 7.
At first, by Carl Banks.
4th and 1, 2:15 to go in the first period. And Parcells awaiting Ditka's decision, and he's going to go for 3.
And how much of his decision was based upon the fact that he's already tried it once on 4th and 1 and got stuffed at the line of scrimmage? You have to think in this field position, given these circumstances, that he'd go ahead and go for the first down, but I think Mike has lost a little confidence up front.
Kevin Butler with Jim Harbaugh, the rookie, holding. 24-yard attempt. And good. So a nice, well-conceived, well-run drive by Tomczak results in 3. 1:39 to go in the period. 1st and goal 8-yard line. Anderson stopped for no gain. They still have Payton on the bench. Walter walking around, but not in the game right now. Marshall makes the tackle, 2nd down and goal. There's Payton. What the Bears would love to do optimally is not only score, of course, but take as much time as they can off the clock, and they're accomplishing that for the moment. Meanwhile, Payton getting re-wrapped. Second and goal, a half a minute to go in the half. Morris in motion. And Tomczak over the middle to Suhey. And Suhey is down inside the 1-yard line.
Well, the clock's still running. The Bears better get moving.
13, and now they call a timeout. They take the timeout with 13 seconds. Inside the 1-yard line.
Well, there's a situation where Mike Tomczak has got to stop the clock quicker than that. Matt Suhey drives for the goal line. Definitely not in.
Tomczak made a very young mistake, Dan. He looked over the sidelines. He thought it was a touchdown. He was waiting for the arms of the official to go up in the air, and the seconds just continue to tick off.
Well, they've taken enough time off the clock so they don't have to worry about the Giants if they score, but what they have to worry about right now is not getting it into the end zone. It is also 3rd down. They have 1 timeout. And what about Perry? You begin to think about the refrigerator, who has gotten his weight down to the point now where Ditka says he could be used in this situation. But there he is.
One of the problems with that right now is Perry hasn't been out on that field for a long time. And he is not what you would call loosened up and warmed and ready to go in there. And I think that probably would be one of the things that would mitigate against his being in there as a running back.
Hard for me to imagine that he's not loose.
He is sort of revolves when he moves, doesn't he?
Last week, though, Mike put him into the backfield for a short yardage situation in their game with the Raiders, and he jumped offside.
3rd down and a whisper. 13 seconds. Thomas and Sanders are the running backs. Oh! Almost illegal procedure, but Thomas goes in motion, and Tomczak takes it across the goal line, at least from the naked eye, and now they make it official. Touchdown. A near disaster. They almost got caught with illegal procedure.
Could have very easily. A smart play by Calvin Thomas. Jumping off sides, but keep in mind he's a back. He can move, and then he went ahead and went in motion parallel to the line of scrimmage. That was close.
So Tomczak in for the score. Bears have the lead for the first time in the game. Harbaugh, the rookie quarterback, holding, and Butler to kick. Chicago Bears have mounted another very impressive drive. 80 yards, 15 plays. They lead 10-7. 2nd and 5. Morris again, and he comes up about a yard short of the first down and pays the price at the end. It's Perry and Marshall in there. 3rd and 1.
I'm sure Bill Parcells told his ball club at halftime, guys, try to remember back how you started running the football at the beginning of the game.
Meanwhile, Frank, you are down 1 more notch after that.
Life has been mean.
Webster, Johnson, Morris, and number 16. It is 2nd down and 9 at the 43-yard line.
They put Galt quickly over Herb Welch.
Pressure, Tomczak off balance, throws, and it's caught for a touchdown by Morris. Mark Collins thought he had the interception, and the next thing you know, he's down, and the Bears lead by 9.
And what did we say? Hands like flypaper. Mark Collins had the football, and Ron Morris just took it away.
You go up there for the interception, make sure you're going to come down with it, and you're down in this part of the football field or bat it away. Collins goes up for it, reads it all the way, and has the ball taken right out of his hands by Ron Morris. In reality, it wasn't a very good throw by Mike Tomczak. He should have thrown it more to the middle of the field. Morris had to work back to the outside, but still concentrated on the ball and came up with a play.
Harbaugh holds for Butler. And the Chicago Bears lead by a score of 17-7. Chicago takes over at its own 44-yard line. Tomczak is a perfect 6 of 6 in this half. Can he make it a lucky 7? He's got a man open deep, and it's caught at the 3-yard line and in for the touchdown. Willie Gould. Willie Gould beat Elvis Patterson.
Badly. He had beaten him earlier. Tomczak didn't get it there. This time he just really laid it out there as far as he could throw the football, I think. And even in that, Gould had to wait for the football. That was how bad he had beaten Patterson. Kennard, no chance. Number 43 to get over and help. Great speed, the former Olympic class hurdler. And more than that, he has gained a lot of finesse coming off his best season in 5 years of a year ago.
Mike Tomczak in 7 starts last year and a couple of mop-up rolls. As Butler kicks the extra point, he had a total of 2 touchdown passes. 2. He's got 2 now in the last few minutes, and it's 24-7. It's been Tomczak's night. 3rd down and 7 from the 44. And it's intercepted. He floated one. It was picked off by Terry Kennard. And Kennard is going to put the Giants right back in the ball game. Kennard going down the sideline, and Kennard is in there. Terry Kennard able to skirt the sideline and go 70 yards with the interception.
And Terry Kennard ought to walk right over to Lawrence Taylor, because Lawrence Taylor forced the play. The minute we say he hasn't been a factor, he comes in right in Mike Tomczak's face and forces a bad throw, Frank.
You'll see it right here. A pass that should not have been thrown. He just put this up for grabs. Had to hurry it. Taylor forced the hurry. 2 men covering the receiver, and down the sidelines goes Terry Kennard. Definitely back from that reconstruction of the knee last December.
Well, on that play.
Allegre has the extra point blocked to make it 24-13. And that could be very, very important.
Whoa.
I'll tell you, very important, because you need more than a touchdown and a field goal now to tie. It looked like Al Harris, number 90, who got his hand on it.
Big, 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 this block. Was there penetration or a low kick? Penetration. Look how the middle of the Giant offensive line was collapsed. Al Harris gets his hand up, and tomorrow, not a factor from the first day of training camp for the Giants, who haven't scored against the Bears now in 7 consecutive quarters if you go back to the playoff game.
Their offense hasn't scored. On 4th down, the punt fielded by McKinnon at the 6-yard line. Big run back for Dennis McKinnon. Out to the 40 and still going to the 40, to the 30, and McKinnon's going to go all the way.
Beautiful.
Dennis McKinnon on the shelf, hurt all last year, fights his way back. The wide receiver and punt returner, close to going down on a couple of occasions, goes 93 yards.
No picket line. Looks over there. It's not there. Like a good return man. Puts his head down, finds a little gap, and Dan, he's as close as you're going to get to going down right here.
How did he keep his balance? Talk about leg strength. Putting the left arm down, and now he's going to cut back to the middle. Run away from Lasker, and oh, that's nice. That's nice stuff.
And officially they call it 94 yards on the punt return, the longest return in Bears history. And Butler kicks the extra point. McKinnon out of Florida State. Good receiver, misfortune last year, hurt, back to
The Giants.
The Giants have to go for it on 4th and 6, trying to stay in the game with 10 minutes to play. And wide open at the 20-yard line is Bavaro, who fights off Duerson and out of bounds at the 3-yard line. So the Giants are able to stay in the game. Sims to Bavaro. Otis Wilson that time came in and was picked up by George Adams on a nice block.
And that's the key. Otis Wilson, let's watch him come in on the blitz, come up the middle. Let's watch him picked up at the line of scrimmage. Otis Wilson coming from the inside. Bam, George Adams, a nice block by the time Otis can recover. Mark Bavaro, who looked like initially he should have been covered by Mike Singletary, found himself wide open in the Giants, in the Bears secondary round.
Giants love to go to Manuel on timing patterns when they get down close like this.
Manuel is split to the right, Robinson to the left, 1st and goal. Bears come flying through and over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Robinson, and 2nd down, goal at the 5. 9:48 to go. Chicago up by 18. Sims incomplete. Intended for Robinson, and the back. Manuel gets taken down at the line of scrimmage and then gets up, and Robinson, the intended receiver, the near interception by Phillips. The New York Giants have the football at the 5-yard line. It is 4th down and goal. And Bill Parcells in conference with his men upstairs, and then imparting that wisdom to Sims, and let's see what they come up with. Robinson left, Manuel in motion. He looks toward Robinson. He throws for Stacy, and he makes the catch for the touchdown. He beats Vestey Jackson.
So, a glimmer of hope for the Giants, but another extra point miss by Raul Alegre didn't help the cause, leaving the score at 31-19. When they eventually got the ball back, the Bears defense snuffed out their chances with the 8th sack of the evening, this one by number 99, Dan Hampton. The Giants were forced to punt again, and the long time-consuming drive by the Bears ended with Kevin Butler's 25-yard field goal to make it 34-19 and leave the Giants 3 scores behind. Mike Tomczak, the young stand-in, had led the Bears to a convincing victory, and Bill